Hey guys, Mark here. Welcome to a video going over a relatively simple yet slightly confusing example question that goes as follows. Given a string variable, whatever it's going to be called, in this case it's going to be named 1 and this is the string, um, figure out a way to count how many uppercase letters there are, and you can do the same thing for lowercase letters. But anyway, let's get into it. Now, the first thing that you may realize is that we have a string. We're given a string, but we want to figure out if it's uppercase. And the first thing that pops into my head is that we're going to need a character. So that's the first thing that I did, is create a character variable, and I named it Z, maybe, or I gave it the value of Z. Maybe that was a bad idea. In this case, uh, it's going to be fine. Anyway, and another thing I want to do is I want to create a counter because that's the question. How am I going to display how many uppercase letters there are in this case? And then in order to do this, to figure this out, what we need to do is simply go through a loop. And this loop is going to go through the whole entire string, starting at index 0 and going to the last index, and it's less than the length because length it returns an integer that does not start at 0, it starts at 1, and that's why we need to go 1 below. If you don't understand that, go to some of my previous videos, make sure you get that down. And then we're going to increment I plus plus, which is I is equal to I plus 1. And here we're going to have the character. And here's our first little handy string method. And this string method says that character named C, which we declared up there, is now going to be assigned to the literal evaluation of 1, which is our string, with the method acting on it, character at, which tests the character at position, which is over here. This is the index I, which means that we're going to start at index 0 and go through, like I said before, the whole entire string length. So essentially, C is going to cycle through and have the value of every single letter in this string. And then we're going to have a simple if statement that's going to say if, and here is a class. A class is called character, the character class. If character dot method, here's the method, is uppercase. If it's uppercase and it's acting on character C, then count upper plus plus. Otherwise, it's not going to do anything. You can modify this several ways. And then what should happen is it should count all the uppercase and letters in the counter. And what we can do is after we go through that loop, we can print out the upper count. And in this case, it's going to be 1. For functionality purposes, I could put caps lock on and say Google. Just throw that in there, and now we're gonna get 7. And if you do count that, that's true. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And yeah, that's the basic functionality of this these methods. They're really handy, but they're very tricky. And I find that it's somewhat simple when you just are manipulating one string to another and concatenating it and all of those things. But when it comes to questions like this, they were really throwing me off because it really requires you to understand thoroughly how you're going to have to be able to turn each letter or each string or the string into each individual letter. And then doing that, you're going to parse through and count them up. So it can be a little bit tricky at first. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave your feedback below with a comment, a thumbs up, a thumbs down, and tune in for the next videos. Thank you. Bye-bye.